On today's tap handle feature, I've got a very special present for you, and that is a new variation of shock top handles. I don't know the exact timing of this style of tap handle or when it was released, but I am going to get into some of the details on the variations because this is a tap handle where I've covered a different version of this tap handle in the past. I do have a comparison one here that I'm actually going to start out with super quickly. I'll do a separate video on this one as well, don't worry guys. But with this one, I want to show you kind of the elements that we have here. So we've got our Mohawk dude. I know people love the Mohawk dude from Shock Top. And then we've got the arch here with the name, with the Shock Top name. We've got the little icon here, and then we've got the name of the beer here. So that is kind of like your standard design, and that's on the little, I don't know the proper name of that, but the little like sign type banner type thing. This one is different, and I have covered one of the Honeycrisp apple wheats in the past, one of the ones that was this style. So if you want to see that, you can always go back and check out the previous videos. But the thing that's notable about this is that you still have a lot of the elements that are the same. So the Mohawk dude is a similar style design. I'm not sure if the coloration was quite the same there, but you've got the apples here that would have been a similar element. And then when you get to the name, if you see where it says Shock Top, it still is arched, but you'll notice that it curves in a little bit. So that's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. So that curves in on both sides. And then also down here where we've got the name of the beer, instead of it being that kind of banner design, this is a wraparound design. So you see kind of how that goes like that. It wraps around the tap handle. And then down here, this gets to similar territory again. Once again, as I mentioned, the coloration actually looks slightly different than I remember the other Honeycrisp one being, but a lot of the design elements are the same. So you've got the wheat here, you've got the coloration to it, you've got the apples around it. You'll actually notice that this one is in fairly good condition overall. There's a little bit of, it needs a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of touch up and stuff like that, but overall it's in good shape, not really much for any damage. But yeah, this is a different design than I've seen before. And then another thing to note as well is the actual size of it. So this is kind of like a standard size tap. And then you'll notice that this other style one is actually relatively large as far as tap handles go. Not huge, but a little bit on the larger side. And then they do have their smaller one, and their smaller one would be roughly about that big, I think. It's significantly smaller. So that is that style. If people are looking for the shock top handles, keep your eyes out for this design as well. You'll probably see more of them. I'm guessing it's probably a slightly newer design because I hadn't really been seeing that one in the past.